politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
Oh, who knew that Don Lemon was so based? Hey guys, so a couple of days ago, I think Don Lemon had a bad day. Not as bad as my day. I'm sitting here in my car waiting for my fiance to get home because my dumbass forgot my house keys. So now I'm just stuck waiting in the parking lot. But while I was here, I went watching some videos, and it turns out Don Lemon is pretty based.
It's just like prime. If you look it up, it'll say, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
You need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it.
This dude can't stop digging a hole deeper. Just look at how offended the two older, well, I shouldn't say older, they're like 40s, 50s co-hosts are. This is just really funny. I'm sorry. Like, if he's talking about like sexual prime and birth-giving prime, he's not wrong. But if we're talking about like intellectual prime or political prime, I mean, that's a discussion.
Look, I personally was not offended by it. Like, I don't really care, right? Like, Don Lemon's opinion on when women are in their prime I'm not delicate about it. Let's just say that. But you got to know when to.
In all honesty, he's not really that wrong. Like, people who are, past their 30s and 40s, it's tough for me to get behind the idea of them, becoming our leading politicians, right? Because as people get older, so there's basically two different types of intelligence that you can measure with people. One is social intelligence and the other is problem solving, right? So as people age, their problem solving gets worse. As people age, their social intelligence gets better. So what you need is a mix, like a very healthy mix of problem solvers and people who are able to, bridge differences, which is what that social intelligence is for. Now, at a certain point, that kind of levels off because once you get into your, upper 80s or wherever it might be where you develop some kind of cognitive decline, at that point, you're kind of, you just probably shouldn't be there. Can we say Joe Biden? But the point is, your cognitive prime for problem solving, I don't think anyone knows exactly where that is because it's probably different for everybody, but it's going to be somewhere between like 25 and 60 probably, somewhere roughly in there. So, once you get into the 80s, like, man, just go enjoy your life. Like, it's okay to admit that you're probably not the best person for the job if you're freaking 83 years old. Like, just don't. Like, be done with it. I don't know why you'd want to do that at 83 anyway, but you probably aren't the best candidate if that's how old you are. But that's a little bit of a different discussion than what we're talking about. And I just want to do a little thought experiment with you, if that's okay. So, imagine that this was somebody on the right, like Ben Shapiro, that had said this. Can you imagine the outrage from the Young Turks on this? And you saw the way that Anna reacted there. You know she would have been screaming about sexism and women's rights if this wasn't someone on the left. It's kind of mind-blowing to me that this was the reaction from the Young Turks. Like, I thought it was funny, like this whole situation itself was funny, but the way that the Young Turks responded to this was even funnier to me because, like, it showed how nakedly partisan they are. And, oh my God, I want you to listen to what Cenk has to say here.
Right in the beginning when his co-host said, prime for what? No, but like, first of all, it's hilarious because it reminds me of turn down for what, right? And I thought that people are gonna fall out of the ceiling and start dancing. Okay.
Oh, wait, that's not the part I meant. That's just the part where Cenk says something that's totally not funny and doesn't make any sense and super boomery. And for some reason, Anna Kasparian is laughing hysterically because it's so freaking funny.
For what, childbearing ages or prime for politics? Because in politics these days, in your 50s, you're just warming up. Like most of the politicians are in their 80s now, right?
There we go. That's the one I was looking for. So the reason that was important to me is that, like, we're really normalizing these like 80-plus-year-old politicians, and I really think we need to not do that. Like, when you're 80, just like go enjoy the rest of your life because you're not gonna be here an awful lot longer. And it's not an insult to say that at a certain point, you're kind of reaching your cognitive decline, and maybe the best thing to do is to have people who are in their cognitive prime, who haven't started that declining of their problem-solving skills yet, at the helm. And beyond that, the younger people are going to represent the interests of the people better because they haven't been in politics for 60 plus years, swimming deeper and deeper into the swamp and being bought out again and again and again by multi-billion-dollar corporations that are just going to continually screw over the rest of the population. We all agree, I don't know anyone that doesn't agree that politics is inherently just as corrupt as can be. And part of that is because of the longevity of the politicians in that particular field. Like, if the political careers were cut shorter, we would have much less of a problem with corruption. So I guess that kind of took it in a different direction than Don Lemon being an idiot, but I thought that was pretty funny, and I thought it was funny that the Young Turks were running basically defense there. Like, they're not attacking him for what he said, which is shocking. Like, the positions that the Young Turks have held, well, I guess it shouldn't be shocking with Cenk, given his history with women. But, I mean, the way that they're outraged about, feminist issues in the past, you would think that they wouldn't be running defense for Don Lemon. But here we are. It's an upside-down clown world because they're on the right team, right? Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be live again on Friday night, so make sure you tune in for that. And hey, we reached 1,000 subscribers. This is my first real video since then, so thanks for that. And we got monetized as of this morning. So everybody hit the thumbs up and share the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.